What will you do for the environment in Elgin, especially in regards to global warming concerns?
I do not have any comments on this subject. Thank you.
We already have good environmental laws over here, especially about the cars and gasoline. Like I said last night, we should keep our Fox River clean because we use more water than because Elgin is a very nice place. We have winds, all the pollution, air pollution, the cars and other transportation just blew away. But we drink water from Fox River, so we need to clean the Fox River all the time. We need to keep it clean.
Global warming is an issue that starts at the federal level and trickles down to us. We respond to federal issues and international guidelines. In Elgin, I think our role, I don't know if it would be our council role, but as a citizen, I believe my role is to educate people. What's global warming about? What are the causes? What are the effects? Is it real? Is it not real? Those are the kind of things that we offer up for people to make a choice.
One of the big problems that we have is a lot of the growth that we have in Elgin. With growth comes increased automobiles. With growth comes less green areas, less space in the natural environment. We contribute a great deal to global warming and to the environment in which we live. I think each one of us can do something about that. We can go out and start walking. We can go out and start taking bike rides where you normally take a car drive. And I think what else we can do is we can make sure that we recycle, and we can make sure that we do our best to not waste all the valuable assets that we have. Not waste water in the summertime. You know, your grass is going to live, even if you don't water it all summer long. It'll just go to sleep. It'll come back the next year. There are a lot of things that we can do to help with the environment, but it comes down to what will we do individually, and together we can do it as a community.
This is an issue very dear to me as a member of the Sierra Club and Greenpeace. This really hits me at home when we talk about the environment. And three things the city can do is the first thing they can do is start to convert all city vehicles to alternative fuels. That's one thing the city can do. It will take a while to do because it will be expensive, but in the long run, alternative fuels are cheaper. We'll get our money back, less maintenance on alternative vehicles, and better mileage and mileage through fuel cells, hydrogen cells, whatever the better technology would be. That's something we have to look into. The other thing we're going to look into is the expense of a big expense of some of our buildings in Elgin, the public buildings, is the electrical costs. We can look into solar energy and alternative types of energy for the electrical use in some of these buildings, and recycling the rainwater, and recycling the water for use other than drinking. The third thing we can do is demand that anybody that builds in Elgin, and thank goodness Sherman Hospital and the new theater that's going up here in the east side town by Elgin Academy will be a green building. Green buildings are the way of the future. They're beautiful buildings. That's what people like, and they are the most environmental friendly buildings we can do. Them are the three most important things the city government can do for the environment. Thank you.
Well, I agree with the speakers that have gone before. I sit with Dave Captain and some others on the Fox River Alliance Committee. That's a group that's looking at several of these issues as it relates to the waterfront and the library, the riverfront right in front of the library and the library itself. And I think the city can be more involved proactively as a leader, not only a leader in communicating a lot of these ideas to the citizens and educating them, but also taking the initiative in doing some of these things with the city's facilities and the city's vehicles. We've got one hybrid vehicle. I think we have to looking at other ones, either more electric gas hybrids or alternative fuels. The library is looking at stormwater retention and use of that and creating some rain gardens. The city could also take that initiative and do that with some of their buildings. Rooftop gardens can be looked at. That's something else that's being discussed. And also we have to educate the citizens on buildings. As Greg mentioned, there are several in town that are being done using these latest technologies. They're trying to be as green as possible. Another one that he didn't mention is the Judson College Library. They're doing their own system of geothermal. You've got the Sherman Hospital, you've got possibly the branch library out on Bowes Road, and you've got the Elgin Academy new classroom and theater space. All those could be promoted, and what they're doing there could be explained And the citizens could be educated on that and get behind those and support those. And also, the city can do those things. So I'm in favor of all of those, and I would also be pushing those as a city council member.
A couple of years ago, we had a major drought in this area, and interestingly, Elgin was the only community in northeast Illinois that did not have a water restriction ordinance. I asked the city manager to have a restriction ordinance prepared. Staff did that over a period of a few months, and my colleagues and I enacted it. So Elgin now has a water restriction ordinance for drought conditions, and it's up to the manager to determine what level of restriction is available at the time of that drought. So that's a first step that you take. There's a couple of other things that I think we need to do. In the very near future, the council will be asked to approve its first eco-friendly development. A developer is coming to us and is going through the planning commission currently to have a community that is sustainable and also is built to very high ecological standards and environmental standards, and hopefully that's going to be the start of communities that are built that way. Unfortunately, we haven't done those types of things in the developments that we have approved. It's very automobile-centric. We need to encourage developments that allow for the use of alternative methods of travel and also encourage the use of mass transportation. Because the more cars you get off the street, the less pollutants are in the air. And as long as we're going to build neighborhoods where you have to drive, you're not going to be able to attack it. You can have all the green buildings you want, but if you've got cars constantly driving, you're defeating your own purpose. So we need to work with the county, the state, the federal government to use more mass transportation, design more communities that where you can walk to convenience stores and get your bottle of milk or newspaper. But and we do have to just kind of be a little more aware in our own lives of what we're doing. Those are the directions I think we need to go. And as a member of the city council, I've actually learned a lot from my colleague Councilman Captain on environmental issues, and we've taken some steps. And I will take other steps if I'm reelected.
It's well-established science now that the burning of fossil fuels is hurting our planet. It is a global issue that has been pointed out, but I think there are also things that can be done on a very local level to help alleviate this, and there are other communities that are doing it. An integral part of my platform is the exploration of the viability of new energy sources. I don't see any reason why we can't take a serious look at wind power. Plenty of wind out here on the prairie. The little town of Mendota down in central Illinois is doing it. I don't know why we couldn't do it either. I think also the use of geothermal power, as Sherman Hospital is doing, has been pointed out, is a very innovative way at producing energy. I also think we can take a look at hydroelectric power downtown. I think a study has been done on that, but I know at one point the foundry used to produce their own power using hydroelectric. Also, I think the idea of retrofitting public buildings, including City Hall, for the use of solar power, and possibly doing grants so people can do the same in their homes would be something that we should take a serious look at. So I think there are very specific things we can do. I also like the alternative fuels idea for the fleets of vehicles that the city has. I'd be in favor of taking a look at the ethanol, potential of ethanol, and also even take it as far as perhaps Willie Nelson and Neil Young do, which is to burn leftover cooking fat in the tour buses. So I think there are a lot of things we can do here locally to help alleviate this problem, and I do recommend that people go and see an Elmore's movie, An Inconvenient Truth, if they have the opportunity to do so.
I think it starts with us, asking ourselves, what can we do? We can start by, at home, recycling. We can start by conserving our water in the summertime as well as in the winter. I have supported in the past things that have been brought before the council regarding our environment, and I plan on continuing, if I'm reelected, to support those things.